Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about dumplings. Now we've gone over the various Chinese cuisines, we've gone over the history and different variations of dumplings, and now we're going to do it ourselves. So here we have all of our ingredients for the filling. So we have ground pork, this is 1.5 pounds. We have a Napa cabbage or Chinese cabbage. We have garlic, ginger, and scallions. We have an egg to bind it all together. We have white pepper, soy sauce, and oyster sauce. Now we're going to go ahead and prepare all these ingredients before we combine them together. So we've prepped the majority of our ingredients. We have chopped and pressed the water out of our cabbage. We have chopped our scallions. We've minced our garlic and ginger. And we've unwrapped our pork. So now we're going to go ahead and add them all together. The measurements aren't terribly precise. It's really just based on what you want for flavor. Okay, so the other ingredients that we didn't prep is our white pepper, our soy sauce, and our oyster sauce. So for the white pepper, that's just going to add a little bit of spice to it. White pepper is a lot better for cooking Chinese food than black pepper is. So we're just going to go for a bunch. I like a bunch of black pepper. So the soy sauce is going to act as your salt. It gives it a nice flavor. And we're going to add oyster sauce. Oyster sauce, as far as I know, doesn't actually have oysters in it, but it's a thick sauce that gives a lot of umami to a recipe. And for something like this, you're actually going to want more than you might think. 1/4 to 1/3 of a cup, but this really depends on your own taste and flavors. Oh, and our egg. We're going to add our egg. You can use whatever method you want to stir this all up. I'm traditional and I use a pair of chopsticks. And we just start with the mix-in. So you want all of your filling to really come together. You want it to turn into almost a paste. The gooier it looks, the better it's going to hold together, and the more the flavors are going to meld when you cook it. Now, the most surefire way of making sure that you've got enough flavor in your filling is to take a small patty and fry it. Then you'll know exactly how your filling will taste once it's cooked, and you get a little snack. Okay, and there is our dumpling mixture. You can see it's pretty well come together. Everything is all incorporated. I might let this rest for a little bit before I actually start making dumplings, but we are ready to rock and roll. And now we are in the assembly stage. The filling has rested for about an hour. I have made wrappers. Now, normally I would suggest that people purchase wrappers. However, they seem to be very hard to find here in San Angelo. I did find Jiaozi wrappers, which are slightly different, but would work if you want to experiment with making your own dumplings. So you're going to need the wrappers, you're going to need the filling, and then a bowl of water, or you can use egg, in order to stick and glue all your edges together. To make your dumplings, you take one wrapper, kind of give it a little bit of a stretch. You will place approximately a teaspoon of filling into the center of your wrapper, like so. Dip your finger in water and run it around the edge of your dumpling wrapper. You don't have to get it all the way around. This just helps everything to stick together. Now there's a couple of different ways to fold these. The easiest is to bring it up into a taco and squeeze that top edge shut. And then you want to create folds in your dumpling. Here, we'll turn it like this. So you grab some more on the side and you bring it up and you squeeze and pinch and make a fold. You do it again. Ooh. You do two. If you do 2 on each side, then your dumpling will be secure enough, I promise. And then you kind of just pinch all of your edges together. Now, I've had multiple Chinese teachers tell me the more folds, the more love you've put into your dumplings. So let's see how many folds we can get into one of these. No, dumpling wrappers don't stick together. Cover those up so they don't get dry. A bit of extra stretching. All right. Now, if you overfill your dumpling, i.e. you put too much filling in, then as you try to close it up, it'll just swoosh out the edges and make a mess and give you a really messy dumpling. So start small, and then depending on the elasticity of your dumpling wrapper, you can start increasing how much you go. So for ease of making them, I usually set them down, and I actually start on the edge. Let's see, can we see this? Sort of. And I grab and tuck, grab and tuck, grab and tuck, grab and tuck. And so what I'm doing is I'm gathering or pleating. Oh, see, I have too much filling in there. I'm pleating approximately 2/3 of the circle down into 1/3 of it. We do that, and it gives you that classic little purse shape there. Give it a little bit of a tug, make sure it's good in the center. We don't want any holes in the middle. Add your filling. Boop, boop, boop. Do a little bit more. Kind of pack that in there real good. Now I don't put mine in the center, I kind of set it offset towards the back and to the left side. I am left-handed, so experiment. I promise you, my first dumplings did not look amazing. It's a learning progress, but I do promise also that by the time you're done wrapping a bunch, you'll be so much better at it. Just don't give up. To cook the dumplings, typically, I will boil them first in water to soften up the outside and to cook the outside. Then once the skin starts to turn translucent, I pour out the boiling water, and you can add either oil or butter, and you will then fry them and get them brown and crispy on each side. Take them off the heat and serve with your favorite dipping sauce, and there you go, dumplings. This is my finished first batch. It encompasses about 1/3 of the dough, but I have way more than 2/3 of my filling left. In order to store these, you can either, make them right away and store them in your stomach, or you can freeze them. Freeze them separately on a tray like this, and then once they're frozen solid, take them off and put them all in a Ziploc bag together and keep frozen. Whenever you need some, you just take it out of the bag and cook them up, and it's a perfect snack or meal accompaniment. I hope you all enjoyed and will venture off into some food adventures of your own.